Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Mike. Hope you're doing great and having a wonderful day. So in this video, I want to do a tag video that I was tagged in by Bryan over at the-Crustic Codex. And if you are subscribed to my channel and watching my videos, you definitely need to be subscribed to his channel. Bryan's a great guy. Just humble, smart, genuine. He's got a good heart. He's just a good guy and he has great videos. He's still newer into these making videos thing. But he's not new to booktube. He's just newer-ish to making videos, but he's doing great. So definitely go check out his channel and subscribe. But this tag is called the Historathon Book Tag, Ancient Cultures. The tag was originally created by Jack, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, of the Rambling Raconteur. There's a few prompts here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started here. So the first one, prompt number 1 is the Romans. What book, writers, or genres are your bread and circus? So books that, I'm gonna steal Bryan's a little bit here. When you don't want to do anything else, you just want to have some entertainment and escape. I don't really have like one book so my answer is going to be kind of like poetry by genres, or poetry, historical fiction, and really just anything general fiction. I have a lot of books, so I just kind of pick up, what I'm in the mood for entertainment. If it's something light, if it's something dense, it doesn't really matter. Number 2 is the Sumerians. What is a work you read many years ago but still appreciate? And that is a book called A Man After His Own Heart by Charles Siebert. I read this, I don't know, 15 or more years ago, and I still remember it to this day. And coincidentally, it's about a heart. It's about a heart transplant. True story that this author right here gets to go on from step 1, which was being with the team of doctors, flying to this hospital, harvesting this heart out of the donor, and then taking it to another hospital and implanting it into the recipient. So that's that one. Number 3, the Shang, which is the Shang dynasty. What is your favorite non-example of pillory? So the way Bryan explained this, he said what he thought Jack was meaning by this was like Confucius in the Shang dynasty. He was very fond and he liked to criticize certain kings during the dynasty, and this is kind of like having readers invited to tear into and rip into books that they didn't like or they're not fond of. I laughed when I read this one. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to hold up the book. If you know, you know. Sorry for all my lovers of Moby Dick out there. But I won't agree with you that it's good, or we would both be wrong, or we'd all be wrong. I'm kidding, of course, kidding. Let's see, prompt number 4. Early Basketmaker. Name an early work that points the way to later monuments. I don't really have a good answer on this one. So I'm going to kind of do what Bryan did on one of these. I'm going to kind of skip it because I don't really have a good answer, unfortunately. I'm sorry on that one. Number 5 is the Babylonians. What book did you expect to be impenetrable but found quite easy to sink into? And for me, that's the Count of Monte Cristo. I just kind of thought for the length of the book, which is pretty big, and being a classic in that genre of classics, that it would be just this dense, boring, long drawn out, story. But surprisingly, no, I loved it. I think what I said in my review, the only critique and complaint I had of this book is it wasn't long enough. It could have been another 600 pages, and I would have loved it even more. Number 6 is the Persians. How do you organize your bookshelves? Well, I've only got 2 regular sized bookshelves, which you can't see on camera because they're behind it. And they're just those, what are they, like 6 foot tall black shelves you get at Walmart. You know, the particle board, nothing fancy. This got 5 shelves on it. I've got 2 of those, one over here and one over there. And then next to one of them, I've got like the same height, but instead of it being, you know, I don't know how wide they are, 2 foot, 2.5 foot, it's narrow. It's like 13 inches or something. So I try to take each shelf, because I don't have a lot of space, and they're all double stacked. Each shelf's double stacked, all of them. And I'll do like, I have all my poetry on one, I have all my fairy tale, that's the semi-truck, sorry. All my fairy tale folklore on one, I have all my classics on one, and then all the rest are just general fiction. And then on my smaller one over here, I've got 3 shelves on top of each other that are all my history nonfiction, and then below that, the bottom 3, again double stacked, I have a 1909 edition of the Harvard's Classics, which I've showed before, and I'll just show you for reference. They're these books. I got the whole set, and that takes up the rest of those, so nothing special. And then I've got some floating shelves over here, and that's like my nightstand shelf. So that, I mean, nothing. All this up here, that's all my wife, and I like it. It looks good, but you know, that's what it is. All right, next one is number 7. Ishango bone of Middle Stone Age, Central Africa. How does the length of a work affect your reading experience? Before I answer that, the Ishango bone of Middle Stone Age in Central Africa, I didn't know anything about it. Bryan made a comment that they think when they found this bone, there was some like mathematical markings on the bone, and I don't know. I haven't even looked it up, so I'm probably butchering this all wrong. Whether that was carved in, you know, tattooed in, I don't know. But I just thought, when Bryan said that, I thought that was like, oh, that's crazy. Bryan knows a lot about history. He was telling me some about this book one time. I think it was like I want to say it was Roman, I don't know, I forgot. Sorry, Bryan, but I forgot that one. Anyways, how does the length of a work affect your reading experience? It used to, I was intimidated by big books. Not anymore. It does bother me. It kind of depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm not in the mood to dive into a big, thick, dense book, you know, I'll read something smaller, but it doesn't really affect my reading experience at all. It takes me longer, obviously, to read longer books, so instead of maybe 2 weeks, maybe it takes me a month or something. Let's see, number 8 is the Huns. How do you read/pack books while traveling? Well, normally I only take like 1 or 2 books, because when we're traveling, I don't read much, hardly at all. And if I do, it's at nighttime, you know, while we're laying in bed, because we're on vacation, we're out doing stuff. So and usually when we go on vacation, you know, family goes with us. It's like 2 or 3 families, we kind of go together, and whether, like, we like to go to the beach in Alabama, and there's like these condos, you know, you have like the beach houses, and then there's the road, it's called the Strip, and then on the other side of that, you know, all the condos, the 15-story condos and all that stuff. We usually like stay in one of those condos there, and like 1 or 2 other families, whoever's going with us, they'll stay in the same one, and then we're always like at each other's places, you know, so it's like, it's never quiet, so I don't really read much, but I always do come home with more than 2 books on the way back, for sure. Number 9 is, and I don't know how to pronounce this, the Aurignacian culture. I know I didn't say that right, but what are your favorite pop culture references to ancient cultures? Well, I am the product of the 90s. I was raised in the 90s, born in the 80s. So these are all movies. The Mummy, the original Mummy, and then the few after. The movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It was actually adapted, the plot was adapted, or elements of the plot was adapted out of Homer's The Odyssey and to the American South. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? The next one is Gladiator, the one that came out in 2000, the original. And then a cartoon movie called The Prince of Egypt. That one came out in 1998. So, but that was it. I'm gonna tag a few people on this for this Historathon, because I know a few people I follow, they're doing Historathon, but this one I had to think about because, again, I'm still new to the history stuff. I don't know a lot about it. So I had to really do my research and get some good answers on this, but this was a fun one, Brian. Thank you for tagging me. Again, go check out his channel. And then that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.